Most brands think that segmentation is about splitting their email list into VIP and newsletter list. But segmentation is so much more than that. It's the backbone of email marketing. It gives you the ability, the superpower to target anyone in your database. Very specific groups of people that you can find at will and target. Once you master segmentation, you'll have the power to create very specific groups, email them through flows or campaigns, and keep your list cleaned by getting rid of unengaged profiles. In this video, I'm going to pass down the skill of segmentation to you. So, what are segments? The simplest way I can put it is segments are lists, okay, containing email addresses and profiles, depending on the filters that you set. So you simply tell Klaviyo, hey, make a group of people that match this criteria, and then Klaviyo with its software is going to find all of those profiles, okay, and it's going to add them inside of a segment so that you can exclude that segment from a campaign or send emails to that segment, and yeah, basically target or exclude that segment from anything you'd like. So use cases for this is cleaning your list by making a segment of bad profiles, which I'll show you in a second, of bad profiles and suppressing them or excluding them from your campaigns and flows. Another use case is making a very specific flow for customers in a specific segment. For example, if you want to send an automation if you want to set up an automation, a sequence of emails, a flow, to people in a certain city that subscribed last year during Black Friday and that left their abandoned cart, if you wanted to, you could make a custom flow targeting those people. And third use case, it allows you to send campaigns to whoever you want. So you can exclude anyone you'd like and target anyone you'd like at a granular. So how do we actually segment? Let's hop onto Klaviyo and let me show you how to do this. So you, on Klaviyo, simply go to lists and segments. Okay, click on create new, create segment. Okay, and for example, let's make a segment of engaged profiles. Okay, let's do 90-day engaged. That's a common Klaviyo segment. So that basically means we want a segment of people, of profiles that have engaged with our emails in the last 90 days. Okay, and again, this is going to make a dynamic group that will keep on changing when time passes by. So after a week, some profiles would have left the segment, some would have entered the segment. So 90-day engaged, actually it would be more useful if I explain the different types of criteria you can set. So there's 3 different ways you can segment, and you can even combine them to segment. Number 1, lists. You can choose what list is the person in. So maybe you have different lists from different sources. Maybe you did an offline event and you gathered a list, all right? Or your normal pop-up list, or your list that you imported from your previous email provider. These are static lists. They basically tell you the origin of that lead. And yeah, you can make a segment around that, using that. So if someone is or not in a list, that's how you use lists as a definition, as a filter. So person is inside, and then you can select the list. You can also select is not. So number 1, list. That's the first way you can segment. The second way is metrics. And you can find metrics here. Klaviyo calls it what someone has done or not done. And basically here you can select any metric, whether it's an email metric, like an opened email, received email, clicked email. These are metrics. These are actions your subscribers and your customers have taken. These are email metrics. So email opened, clicked, as you can see on the screen, clicked email, bounced email, marked email as spam, etc., etc. These are Klaviyo metrics, email metrics. And then you have Shopify metrics, right? If someone placed an order, if someone started checkout, etc. Because this account is not integrated with Shopify, what you see is quite limited, but there's also going to be order refunded, or yeah, there's going to be a lot more metrics that you can use to segment. And yeah, you've got email metrics and website metrics, Shopify metrics. And the third thing you can use to segment is called properties. You can also call them tag. And here, it's basically information about a profile. For example, when they were created, okay, as soon as a profile is created inside of Klaviyo, this tag gets added, and you can basically track down and segment people based on when they were created inside of Klaviyo. Another one is location. What's their location? And yeah, that's pretty much it. You can also do by email. If their email ends with a specific domain. So that's another property. So yeah, 3 main things you can use to segment. Number 1, lists. Number 2, metrics. And number 3, properties. Okay, you will get used to them when you start using it, when you start to make segments. So let's go ahead and make some common segments so that you can see this in action. So let's make a segment of people that are, let's make the 90-day engaged segment. Here is what it would look like. So what someone has done or not done, opened the email is at least once in the last 90 days. Okay. You might not be familiar with these at the moment, but once you start making it yourself, you will get familiar, okay, all of this. So yeah, that's open email at least once in the last 90 days. That's the 90-day engaged segment. Now let's say we want to do 90-day engaged, abandoned carts, plus 90-day engaged. So you basically want to target people who have abandoned a cart any point in time and have engaged in the last 90 days. This would simply look like this. You add a condition, you select and, that's very important. If you select or, it's going to give you people, even if they haven't added to the cart, as long as they match one of these criteria. As long as they've opened an email, Klaviyo is going to add them in. But if you want to add a condition on top of the other, you have to do and. And here we can select what someone has done or not done. Added to cart is at least once over all time. Okay, that's the second example segment. Another one could be you want to target first-time customers, so people who have placed one order, but they haven't reordered again in the last 90 days. So the way you would make this is by using a metric, so placed order metric, and another metric, which I'm going to show you. So first-time customer and not reordered in the last 90 days. So like I said, metric, which is going to be what someone has done or not done. Select. Placed order is at least once. Well, because we want to do first-time customers specifically, right? Not repeat customers. If we do at least once, it's going to do customers who've purchased once, twice, 3 times, but we only want customers with 1 purchase. So we are going to select this and look for equals 1. And here we can do over all time because we want first-time customers, doesn't matter when they reordered, and okay, again, metric, placed order 0 times in the last 90 days. So first-time customers, but they did not place an order in the last 90 days. You could use this segment to send out a campaign to try and get them back, or what would be more effective would be having a flow that uses this segment as a trigger, and you can have a sequence of emails that will target these guys. And yeah, now let's make a segment of, let me think. Let's make a segment of bad profiles, people who've bounced or people who are not opening emails. So let me just keep it simple, call it bad profiles. By the way, this video is not to give you the segments. This video is to give you the skill so that you can make the segments from scratch. There's going to be other videos where I show you the segments to include, exclude, how to clean your list, etc. Go and watch those videos, but this video is specifically about giving you the skill of segmentation. So bad profiles. Received email 5 times, received 5 emails, but opened none of them. That's a bad profile, unengaged profile. So what someone has done or not done, received email, which is an email metric, equals, we don't want to do equal, we want to do at least. So at least is at least 5, okay? So they've received 5 emails, and what someone has done or not done, so metric again, opened email 0 times over all time, okay? So this would be a bad profile. Well, let's say you want to exclude people who are new profiles that subscribed in the last 30 days, because you want to give them more time to engage. All you have to do is do and properties about someone created, so is not in the last, would be days. Yeah, you have to do some reasoning here to try and pick the best one. Is at least 30 days. So if we want to only have a segment of profiles who have been on our email list for more than 30 days and have received 5 emails and have opened none of them, this is the segment for this. So yeah, as you can see, you can get very granular. You can even add a country. So people inside of this segment and inside of a country, a specific country, and you can even do inside of a specific city. So yeah, the combinations of filters are endless, and this gives you the ability to find and target specific groups. By the way, you could have the best email strategy, but if you're landing in spam, it's just not going to work. We recently helped a client go from 14% to 46% open rate, fixing 3 deliverability mistakes they were making. Another brand jumped from 37%, which is an average open rate, all the way to 67%. And another client's bounce rate this time dropped from 36% all the way down to 0%. There's a free guide in the description that shows you the exact fixes. It will take you 20 minutes to implement, but it could change your email marketing forever. Now, one thing that is quite confusing inside of Klaviyo, not because of Klaviyo itself, but because brands and probably you as well, when you move stuff from your previous email provider or when you import lists, sometimes you might not update the subscription status, the subscribed status. So sometimes what can happen, if I just clear this, you have this condition inside of Klaviyo, this filter called if someone can or cannot receive marketing. So apparently people can receive marketing, so a person can receive marketing even if they haven't subscribed. So this is a nuanced area, okay? You have to be careful with this. You have to make a segment. So you as the brand owner or marketing manager, you want to see, is the subscription status of your email list accurate? Because Klaviyo can say they are not subscribed even though they are subscribed, okay? And the issue with this could be, if you do this, if you add this filter and do because person subscribed, all right, and let's say you want to send a newsletter, and you say, okay, I only want to send to people who subscribed. And if you select this, and your list actually contained more profiles, but because when you moved over from your previous provider, or when you imported a list, or some other reason, or or maybe an integration you've got with Klaviyo. Let's say you're using another app to collect emails, or you've got a certain funnel that's collecting emails for you. If the integration of the app doesn't change that status to subscribed, they are not going to show up inside of this segment. So you just have to figure out if this is for you, all right? But to filter out people who are not subscribed, who have unsubscribed, you can simply do this. Metric, choose a metric, and look for unsubscribed. Click the email to unsubscribe at least once over all time. So this would give you people who have unsubscribed. And yeah, this is a nuanced area. I had to add this in as point number 5, because yeah, you have to be careful with this. If you get this wrong, you could be missing out on a lot of profiles. And yeah, that's it. I hope I gave you the skill of segmentation. I hope it was clear. And now you have the superpower to target anyone and exclude anyone.